Thanks for joining us for our inaugural episode of Union Cigar After Hours. My name's Dave. This is my partner, Jordan. I just wanted to bring you guys into our shop here at Union Cigar Gettysburg. We're at 5 Baltimore Street in downtown historic Gettysburg. Gonna give you an introduction to ourselves, what got us into cigars, why we enjoy the lifestyle and the habit, and give you an introduction to the Union. So, Jordan, why don't you get us started off? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so yeah, my name is Jordan. Outside of Union Cigar, I'm an IT manager for a large organization here in PA. And, you know, I love Union Cigar and, you know, love getting here when I can. And
absolutely, yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I mean, I've been a paramedic for a local EMS organization for about for different organizations for about the last 17 years or so. Okay. And yeah, I really enjoy coming down. It's a nice, relaxed atmosphere. You know, it's one of the things I like most about it is just hanging out, having a good time, and
absolutely.
You know, reviewing some cigars, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're here for. So let's get into it, right?
Yeah,
give it
sounds
a whirl.
great.
All right. So what we're gonna smoke for our first episode here is the Roja Statement by Noel Rojas. It's a 5x50 Corona, right, with a Mexican San Andreas wrapper and Nicaraguan binder and filler. Right, so it's this is kind of more up my alley. I'm not 100% sure how your palate is, but I kind of like these dark, medium to full-bodied kind of cigars.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of where we're at with this one, and I agree with what you said a few minutes ago. You know, it's relatively flawless looking. It's not a whole lot of veins. I don't see a lot of big visible seams, cracks. You know, and this is one of the things that I like to do when I pull them out, is give it a little roll up next to your ear. Should feel a little moist. Right, a little bit spongy. If you hear it crackling and crunching and all that stuff, it might be a little dry. It might just need a little bit more time, either in your home humidor or give it a little bit more age on it, right?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's put some smoke in the air, right?
Very good.
We'll get going. And then sometimes these closed feet sometimes take a little bit extra to get them rolling. We'll have the fire department here in a few minutes. All right.
What do you think?
Right off the bat, it's a little on the it's a little bit on the bland side right off the bat, but you know, I always like to give them a good inch or so until they warm up. You know what I mean? I've been smoking cigars for, I don't know, a decade or so, and it's a pretty rare occasion for me that, like, from the instant first puff that I'm in love with something.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. You know, it's just like, I mean, I enjoy reading. It's one of the other things I do, and I've always said give a book a good, you know, 30, 40, 50 pages before you decide to put it down and not come back to it. So I kind of use that same mentality. Let the oils from the tobacco warm up. You really want to get an accurate taste profile.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, and, you know, I'm generally not a huge fan of Mexican San Andreas wrappers, but I'd say overall I think it helps balance it out with the binder and the long filler in it.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
Yeah, definitely get some spice there right off the bat, but not too much. It's very good.
Yeah, it doesn't have that that really rough tongue and lip bite.
Sure.
Like you get from some of those other fuller bodied cigars, where as soon as you take that first drag, or even just your dry draw, right, where before you've lit it, you know, and you can, you know what I mean? It's like you got a black pepper stick in your mouth, right? Sure. Yeah. So while we're waiting for these guys to warm up and really get rocking, let's introduce everybody to the shop here, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Why come down to a cigar shop rather than, say, buy online or go to one of your local, you know, brick and mortar cash and carry kind of joints?
Sure. So I've always enjoyed smaller brick and mortar shops like Union Cigar, just for the atmosphere. You know, you got your regulars, your locals. You know, you get some tourists through here. Mm-hmm. You know, still an excellent selection. That's always changing and evolving, and yeah, to me, it's just much more enjoyable hangout.
Absolutely,
sure.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the things I like to tell people when they ask, why are you into cigars? What do you like about them? Everybody thinks that I don't think that they're addictive, right? The cigars themselves.
Sure.
I'm kind of addicted to the experience, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I as much as I enjoy smoking a cigar on the deck at home after I'm done mowing the lawn or finishing up that honeydew list, now that spring's rolling around, one of the things I enjoy the most about this kind of place is coming down to a joint like the Union, hanging out with like-minded people in a really relaxed atmosphere. In this Union here, we've got kind of like a really good old world tobacco joint kind of vibe going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, whenever I conjure up an image in my mind of what a cigar lounge should look like, it's big leather chairs, plush carpet, wooden Indians all over the place, all kind of,
Right.
and just good company, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. We're both members here, right? We've both chosen to take advantage of the General's Lounge
Yes.
membership level. So before we dig into that, what are the benefits of being a member here versus not being a member?
Sure.
Right. The great thing about the Union here is this lounge that we're sitting in is open to the public.
It is.
Right. So not a lot of places offer that.
Right.
I mean, that's one of the first things that drew me here was that I could come in, sit down. I didn't have to buy my stuff at the counter and take off and drive home, or smoke out on the sidewalk. You could come in here into the air conditioning, watch some TV, hang out. Yeah. So we've got our we call the Union Cigar membership. The initial annual membership is $125, if I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah, and what does that get us access to?
So that gets you a locker or a humidified locker or cabinet. It gets you 10% off all your purchases, and of course access to the lounge and to events.
Yeah, awesome. And one of the great things that Union also does, and this helps me out as a paramedic, is we actually do offer a 10% discount.
Yes.
For military, retired military, public safety, EMS, fire, police.
Yes.
Come on down and see us. Very, very appreciative of their local public safety crowd here at the Union.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And then you can move up for the General's package, so to speak, is $500 a year, right? And that's going to get you access to the upstairs exclusive lounge, also a humidified locker, which you have sole access to, right? You get your own key, your own humidor upstairs, and if I remember right, a RFID card to get you in and out, because that portion of the lounge is not open to the public.
Correct. Yep.
Right? Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I mean, there's been big movement up there from when that project first started to today. Absolutely, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes. Now the General's Lounge, coming soon, right? Is limited to only 24 members, right? And seats are filling up very fast. So if you are interested in one, come on down and sign up for sure.
Yeah. And one of the really great things about it, I think it's kind of cool anyway, is that being that this is Gettysburg and all the history around the Civil War, is when you sign on for a General's package membership, they actually give you a General's name.
Yes.
Right? So I chose Confederate General Pettigrew off the list, and I forget what...
General Meade.
General Meade, that's right. Absolutely, yeah. That makes sense, yeah. Kind of a take charge kind of guy. And we've also got the Founders Club, which is a $1,000 annual membership.
It is. Yeah. It is. But with the Founders membership, you do get a $1,250 gift card that you can then use towards a General's membership and or purchases here in the shop.
So one of the benefits to that is you pay your $1,000 up front. You get a gift card for $1,250. Buy your General's package, and I'm not super great at math, so $1,250 minus 500 comes to what, $750 gift card for cigars for the rest of the year?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat that.
No, that's a pretty good deal.
I mean, I could smoke $750 of cigars in a year, probably with not a whole lot of effort. Right. If you ask my wife, she'll tell you that's very easy.
Sure. Right.
So what are we thinking here? How are you feeling about your first? Now that we're pretty well into these here.
Yeah, still smooth. Don't find it very harsh or bitey for a San Andreas wrapper. Good amounts of spice, pretty balanced overall, I feel. I'd say some notes of dark chocolate and some spice. Yeah, Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I like about Noel Rojas is they have a mantra, right? They say small ring gauges, big flavor.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And right off the
absolutely.
bat, that is delivering pretty well here. I like the dark chocolate notes. I'm definitely picking up a little bit of cedar,
Oh yeah.
some baking spices, So this always leads into the discussion, right? Like, when's the last time you put a piece of cedar in your mouth, right? What does cedar taste like? I mean, that's one of the questions I get all the time: is how do you know what something tastes like,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And for me, it's always related to smell.
It is.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know what I mean. Like, I've never chewed on a piece of leather that I'm aware of,
Right.
But you can taste the smell.
But you can't smell a taste.
Right. Correct. So my father was a sheriff's deputy when we were kids. So when I say I'm picking up notes of leather, it kind of harkens back to my dad's den, where he would polish his old, his gun belt,
sure.
leather holster, all that's all, back in the 80s, everything
Right.
was leather before it was all Kydex and plastic.
Okay.
Everything was heavy duty leather.
Right.
So, I mean, that's another reason why I like this habit,
yeah.
kind of sparks up some good memories.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and I'm one who really enjoys the taste of cedar as well. So that's why I saw you use the matches, right, to light yours, and I prefer the cedar slip. So yeah, it's
And one of the other things I really enjoy about the union is there is always something going on, right?
oh, absolutely.
I've never come in here and it be dead.
No.
And I'm the only guy here. I mean, what do we got? We got every Tuesday night is movie night.
Yep, sure is.
The first Friday of the month, there's always an event, whether it be like a trivia night. What did we do not that long ago? Pairings, right?
Yes.
We had the Gary Owen come in. We did a whiskey pairing event with them. Hook and Flask still works
Yeah.
out of Carlisle.
Yeah.
They've been down. Devin and those guys do a great job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vish from the Gary Owen, super knowledgeable guy, brought in all sorts of great stuff. And you and John just made a trip somewhere?
We did.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
What did you guys get into?
We made the trek down to Georgia, to southern Georgia, to actually pick up a 24-foot mobile cigar lounge. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So coming soon will be the Union Cigar mobile lounge.
Cool.
Yeah. So it'll be available for private events, golf tournaments, car shows, bike shows. Yeah. You name it. So
Cool. Bachelor
really looking forward
parties,
to that.
wedding events.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And if I know John, I'm sure he'll saddle one of us with coordinating all of those events.
That's all right.
It's part of paying the dues here, right? Yeah. So I mean, if that's something that you guys think you'd be interested in hearing more about, give us a call here. Check us out on Facebook or the website. We would love to have that trailer parked at your golf course, your bachelor party.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Family reunions, maybe. I don't know if your family's super big into smoking cigars, right? Why not get Nana out on the front porch with a couple fingers of bourbon and a
Right.
A nice Padron 80th anniversary,
Right.
Why not? Let's talk about that guy or girl who's just decided today
Okay.
that they're going to get into cigars, right?
Yep.
Whether your old man smoked, it's something that your husband is into, and you want to, share some time with your spouse.
Yeah.
What?
absolutely.
How does someone decide what to smoke, right? Like if they know absolutely nothing.
Right. So my recommendation would be to anybody who's getting into cigars to, of course, come on down to Union, right? Speak to any one of the very knowledgeable and excellent tobacconists who work here, right? And they most likely would start you out with something smaller, something more on the more mild side, and then from there it's just getting trying different various brands and. If you're into infused cigars, right, and different flavors there,
Definitely.
and then just trying different things and let your palate grow and develop and get into the pairings and what you like.
Yeah, I mean, and I do that from time to time, even after smoking cigars for so long. I mean, that's one of the other great things about being here is these guys like Jeremy, Nick, Ben, the general manager, and John, the owner, right? I mean, he's here a lot. I come in and like, hey, what do you got new? And one of the things that I really like about the staff here at the Union is they know what I enjoy, right? They keep track of what you're buying. You become a regular and they're like, hey, I know you're into the more full-bodied stuff. Here's something from a new line, new facing that we're trying out. right? So you come on down, you talk to the tobacconist, and this is kind of the process that I've seen them go through from time to time is, they usually ask them, are you already a tobacco user? Do you smoke already? Yes or no. Do you like coffee? Do you drink it black? Do you drink it with cream and sugar? They really take the time to understand what it is that you already enjoy.
Yes.
The things that you already like to drink, that you like to eat, your taste, your flavors that you're already looking for. And I've never had these guys steer me wrong.
No,
not
absolutely.
one time have I come in, and I'll talk to Francis, one night. I mean, he knows everything. I feel like, you know what I mean.
Right.
Every time I've ever talked to him, I'm like, hey, what do you got new? And he's like, you're a bourbon guy, right? And he's like, come on over here, and we go and check out the humidor.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And you don't get that online.
No, you don't.
Right? I like to buy stuff online from time to time. You know what I mean? It's a great way to fill your humidor, or it's a great way to try something new that you've never tried. You don't want to drive down to the shop. You want to buy something online. But one of the things that I always come back to is I might buy a sampler online, or if I'm traveling somewhere from another shop, and then I always come back here and tell these guys, hey, listen, I tried, ABC brand while I was at Myrtle Beach last week. Right. What do you have here that's close to that, right?
Yep.
Because, you want to support your local shop, local business.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And you're not going to get that. You don't get that treatment at some of the big box shops.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Because like you said, more times than not, I don't even have to ask. I'm just walking in and, whoever's, tobacconist on duty is like, hey, we got this and that in, I think, you'd really like it. You need to give it a try. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Yep, absolutely. The staff here, super friendly, inviting, very knowledgeable.
Right.
Yeah, definitely makes for a much more enjoyable experience. Now that we're a good 2/3 into these, right, coming towards the end here, what the flavor change at all for you? You got any?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'd say here at the 2/3 mark, I'd say it actually got to be a bit more full-bodied for me. At first, like I said, the spice was there, but now it's like everything is just coming together. It seems to be more smooth, more creamy for me, more full-bodied. Getting more baking spice actually, and like I said, the chocolate notes in there, but. I gotta say, this thing really picked up at the 2/3 mark. Yeah,
definitely, absolutely, I agree. What I'm kind of getting is it's a little bit less of that dark chocolate in the beginning, and it's kind of mellowed out. It's almost kind of more like a milk chocolate and cinnamon kind of flavored. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. A little bit of notes of spice are still there, but again, not super overpowering, which is a lot of times is something that will turn me off. I'll end up, you know what I mean? I'll end up walking away from it, and I'll come back, and it's out, and I won't relight it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But again, even being this far into it and having the lid end this close to the end, I'm not getting that numb feeling, on the end of my lips or my tongue or anything. It's really nice. So now that we are 2/3 into it, though, let's. How far down do you smoke your cigars? That's always a big question, right?
It is, yeah. So there's no, there's really no etiquette, I'd say, right, on, how far you can smoke down. I personally, it really varies for me on the cigar. There are some that even when you get to the 2/3 mark, like you said, it just starts to have that really harsh.
Yeah, it's a
bitter
big transition.
Yeah, not a very good flavor to it. Others, there are some that I smoke them until I can't even hold them anymore.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's when
shoving a toothpick in the bottom of it and yeah, absolutely.
Right. That's when that is an excellent cigar.
Yeah, and I like that you touched on that etiquette word. A lot of times you get into Facebook chat groups and stuff like that. It's, again, another great place to learn.
Yeah.
Right. But a lot of times, just like with anything else, lifestyle wise, craft beer snobs, whiskey snobs. Yeah. There are definitely cigar snobs out there.
Yeah.
Me personally, it was my money that I spent, so I will smoke it as far down as I want to, or as shallow as I want to. Yeah. If I end up not liking it after an inch into it, I'm going to walk away from it.
Right.
Right. I mean, life is too short to sit here and choke down a cigar for an hour that I'm not really enjoying.
Right. Yes.
Right. So a lot of times, like I said, I give it at least the first third before I really make up my mind, unless I just absolutely hate it. But yeah, definitely a really good one until it's burning my fingers.
Oh, yeah.
burning my lips. You know, my wife will laugh at me. I'm trying to hold it with these two fingers. You know what I mean? And it's, you know,
Right.
singeing the end of your nose. You know?
Right.
But some of them you just don't want to give up on. You
Yeah,
know, you just
absolutely.
kind of wish they'd last forever. Definitely. But yeah, I like the flavor transition. It's been a mild transition.
Yes.
You know, sometimes I get a little bit excited when things change. Like, you know, you get through that first third and you're like, oh, wow, this tastes completely different. You know,
Yes.
and sometimes you'll have that, not necessarily with these Rojas are a long filler, you know, which means they're whole leaves of tobacco.
Yes.
Right. Whereas with what we call a Cuban sandwich, right, where it's minced up, chopped up, which a lot of people think means it's lower quality.
Not necessarily.
Right. And it's,
no.
yeah, it's
Right.
definitely not. Definitely not. You'll definitely get those flavor profile changes. You know what I mean? And we'll talk about that in later episodes, but you get that like with the barber pole wrappers.
Oh, yeah.
You know, different infused blends. And sometimes, you know, you get like a big, one of my favorite cigars to smoke is the CAO Flathead, the V660.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That takes a solid hour and a half,
Oh, yeah.
2 hours to
Easily.
get through. And that flavor profile in those, you know, higher end cigars, it's consistent the whole way through. And I really like that. But there are other times where it's exciting when it changes.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Kind of gives you a different profile. It hits the whiskey a little bit different.
Sure.
Or the coffee a little bit different. You know, nobody wants the same thing over and over again for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. Right.
Absolutely. Then again, you never know. Every once in a while, I do drink an entire 12-pack of the same beer, right? All right. So now that we're coming to the end, right?
Yep.
We're going to get to the whole meat and potatoes. The whole idea behind this show, right, is a cigar review, right? Nobody wants to sit and hear about me all night long, right? So what we've done is we've come up with a rating system, so to speak. We're going to go from 0 to 100 points. Right, and this is kind of how I look at it. Anything below a 79 is something I am not going to smoke again.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
That's fair. Yeah.
So like an 80 to 85, I'll call it good. 85 to 90, very good, or classic is what I think Cigar Aficionado calls it. You know, some of these other guys. 90 to 95 is excellent, and 95 and above is just kind of out of this world.
Yes.
Right? So my initial rating for this is I landed at a 91.
Okay.
Right. So this is for a less than $12 cigar. I think that the Roja Statement by Noel Rojas is definitely this being my first one. This is definitely something I would buy a box of and put in my humidor as a daily smoke. Right. Absolutely. Like I said, for under $12, I don't think you can beat it. That's kind of my sweet spot. I don't know about you. Has always been somewhere in the neighborhood of like the $10 to $12 mark.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'd say so. Yeah.
I've got a couple of what I would call, you know, the hyper high end stuff in my home humidor. But on a Tuesday after mowing the lawn after work, I'm probably not going to break out my, you know, some $40 cigar to smoke on the back deck. Right. Kind of save those for weddings, anniversaries, that kind of thing.
Sure.
So what we've broken this down into is 5 categories, up to 20 points in each category.
Yep.
And what are those categories? What did we come up with?
They are on appearance, flavor, draw, aroma, and price point.
Right, because the price point for me is always a big deal.
Yes.
Right, if I really enjoy it, but it is way out of the ballpark expensive.
Right.
It's probably, you know what I mean, it's not something I'm gonna do very often.
Sure.
But if it hits on those first 4 categories, you know, absolutely, and then the price point lines up, that just puts it over the edge for me. So with appearance and presentation, like we said in the beginning, the Roja Statement, flawless design. You know, I didn't find any big veins. There were no uneven burns. I mean, we're, you know, a solid 2/3 or more through, and it has a razor sharp burn line.
Yes.
Right? No canoeing, no uneven burns.
Yeah.
It held a nice, long, flaky ash,
Yep.
which, you know, if you're new to cigars, what the ash does is kind of keeps that ember on the end a little bit cooler, helps those oils warm up instead of burn, you know, and keeps the flavor profile really nice. So I gave this an 18 out of 20. It's a nice, dark, oily, sleek-looking wrapper, really smooth,
Absolutely.
really well put together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we were tied there for the appearance and presentation. I agreed with the 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And how about the draw? How'd you feel with the draw category?
The draw I thought was great, not excellent, right? So not too much that it became a harsh cigar.
Yeah.
But I thought, it flowed very nice, and so I was at a 17 for that. Out of 20.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. And actually, I gave it 1 point higher.
Okay.
I went with an 18. I only took 2 points off because, for me, perfection is a hard thing to come by, right? There's always a little bit of room for improvement. But again, an 18 out of 20. This was an even draw. I didn't feel like I was really working, you know what I mean, to get a good mouthful of smoke and get a good mouthfeel, a little bit of a chewy sensation, a little bit. It's you don't want to smoke a cigar and feel like you're smoking a big Marlboro cigarette, right? So I gave it an 18 there, and with aroma, right? Everybody says, "Oh, I like a really great big stinky cigar." Nobody likes a stinky cigar. I mean, maybe some people do. I do not. If it doesn't smell good, I'm not going to enjoy it. Plus, I'm not going to be allowed back in the house, right? So I gave it a 15. It's pleasant. It's not overpowering. It just smells like regular cigar tobacco to me. Just like you would get from any premium long filler. Has a good, pleasing aroma. Like I said, not overpowering.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nothing super jumping out. So I hit a 15. How about you?
I actually gave it an 18. I thought the aroma was actually pretty darn good on it. Even just from just what I was smelling of it, what I was getting through the retrohale, and then I was actually with my father-in-law when I had it for the first time, and he's like, "That smells pretty damn good." So
okay, awesome, good deal. And then we come down to the price point. I gave it a 20. Like I said, for under $12, this is right in my kind of what I view as my sweet spot for a daily cigar, right? That $10 to $12 price mark, kind of gives you a little bit of wiggle room. So like I said, I don't remember exactly what the, off the shelf price is here at the Union. John pulls the price tags off before we do the reviews, but it is definitely under $12. And for that, it gets, high marks for me. So I gave it a 20 on the price point.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. Very good.
And then overall, like we said, I'm giving this one a 91. Like I said, I really like their mantra in the beginning: small ring gauges, big flavor, and this nailed it right out of the park with that. Flavor profile was great the whole way throughout. It was a solid smoke, nice flavor notes. Like I said, we hit on the dark chocolate, the milk chocolate, cedar, baking spices.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually only 10 points beneath you, 81, so right at that cutoff, I'd say, for both of us. Anything less than an 80, generally, we're probably not going to touch it.
Yeah.
And the only reason I think I ended up being 10 points less than you was just because the cigar really didn't come together, I think, fully until we hit that 2/3 mark, like I mentioned, is where the body really showed up, and it's when it became very smooth and very enjoyable, but not till the 2/3. But yeah, overall, good smoke.
Yeah. Like I said, overall, good draw, nice even burn, nice ash, right? Gives it everything. That's one of the things that you'll see in the cigar world all the time is, hey, nice ash, right?
Right.
Just gotta kind of make sure you enunciate properly.
Right, yeah.
I think we're gonna talk a little bit about that in our next episode, right? Lounge etiquette.
That's right.
Right now that you've decided to come in and be a member somewhere, or at least just frequent a lounge on a regular basis, how are you supposed to act when you come into
the
one of
do's,
these
the
places?
don'ts. Right.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be that guy, right?
No.
Yeah.
Right.
when you come in and, oh boy, that guy's here. I'm gonna do cash and carry today and get out of here. Right. So yeah, overall, the Roja Statement by Noel Rojas gets a 91 from me, an 81 from Jordan. We're gonna finish these up and close out for the night.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode, and don't forget, come on down and see us at the Union. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good night.
Located on the square in historic Gettysburg, Union Cigar features the finest premium cigars for the casual smoker as well as the aficionado. Whether you're here to conduct business, enjoying a night out with friends, or just looking to relax, Union Cigar is the ideal place. We offer a welcoming atmosphere in our lounge with soft leather sofas and chairs, a warming fireplace, and coffee bar. Union Cigar, an oasis for those seeking a unique experience.